Good morning where I'm at. Leftover pizza. Shrimp and anchovy. Doesn't get much better than that. It's the Great Vanzini and I am back. And I am back with, see if I can show this, a Danelectro Daddy O. And it's another one of those mid-size, larger pedals. The series that came out later, and I don't remember what they're called. I don't see, they don't show a name on it, but it's the one with all the food. They're all food labeled. This is the Fish and Chips EQ. And the Daddy O's, the previous series was called the Cool Cat series. And this is the Cool Cat, the Daddy O from the Cool Cat series. I did another one on the Danelectro just a short while ago, and before that I did a heavy distortion one called the Fab Tone. Not to be confused with a third series they came out with that was about this size in a plastic covering that was really quite expensive. Those were called the that was called the Fab Tone series. Different than the pedal. So the Daddy O is a overdrive distortion, and it's fascinating to me that it's I don't know, with that backing track, if it really showed it very well, but so we'll put that picture back up there. We see on the left there's 5 knobs on this one. If I complained about the other one being hard to get to the knobs, this is insane when you get to the bottom lower knobs, the bass and the treble knobs, because it's really hard to get your fingers in there and get them. So left to right is the volume, and then down below comes the bass, then comes the mids, then comes the treble, then comes the overdrive. And I'm going to say right at the outset that it's not that bad. There's tones. It's very odd that if I tune it quite low, it actually has a fairly, you can tune it in so it's a fairly subtle overdrive. If I crank it all the way up, now we're in trouble. I got to turn that volume down. I'm putting it through a modeling amp. It doesn't matter. You can put it through a tube amp. It starts to become quite brittle and not so much fun, I don't think. I do like messing with the mid control because I can really turn the treble down, the mids up a little bit. All the way up with the distortion becomes, I think, pretty problematic pretty quick. But I do like that you have bass and mids, and I like the old, I'm an old mid scoop kind of guy, so I keep those mids, I don't turn it all the way down, but I keep those mids down around 10 o'clock, and I keep the bass up around 11. Give you my clean tone, I guess, for starters, huh? I'm just playing through through the E-band through a clean, pristine clean model. I put a little reverb on it, but I'm not hearing it now. So that's with the clean, and you can actually use it as a boost, and you can turn that distortion down quite a ways. Turn the volume all the way up. And use it as a boost. It wouldn't be my preference. I don't see it. You can use it for that, but that would not be. I would use something like a Boss Blues Driver or a clean boost, you know. Anyway, as we increase that distortion from, well, we'll just go down, we'll turn the volume up about halfway. increasing the distortion doesn't just increase the distortion, it increases the volume as well. So we'll just play that, and as I do that, I'll turn it up. It's at about 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, there's 3 o'clock, that's 5 o'clock. So it turns the volume up with the distortion, and there's a volume knob too. I just can't take it all the way turned up. I just don't like that. I think there's lots of other options, and technology's come a ways. If you want something much heavier, there's other options out there that are probably better. But it does control, let me think here. And again, if you were using this live on stage, getting your fingers in there, there's no bass, almost no mids, and it needs some sort of, on those bottom knobs, put the picture up here again, the, what would that be, the bass and treble, it needs something on top of it to be a little rubberized, something that gripper that can grip on there. So there's everything. Cut right here and go back to tuning. So everything turned off all the way down, the bass, the mids, and the treble. It still didn't sound that bad. When I did the volume a few minutes ago, as I turned the distortion up, the volume went way, way up. I'm not sure if this mic and my camera will note that, because I think it has built-in compression, so it'll squash that volume down, I hope. Otherwise you'll all be deaf. So let's turn the bass up. Yeah, you turn it all the way up and it gets pretty muddy towards the end. And now let's turn the mids up. Interesting, the mids don't do a whole lot. Maybe brighten it up a bit. It's barely in the mid-range, it's almost in the like the lower treble range. And the treble will make your ears bleed here. Not that bad, actually. So it does boost the treble, bass, and mids up, but it doesn't have a huge impact. I like the mids turned down just at like at 10 o'clock, and the bass at maybe 11 to 12, and the treble right at 12. And we turn that distortion up. Yeah, it works. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I don't remember what I paid for it. I remember I got it used at a pawn shop. It was, my recollection was, I had a price tag on it. I took the price tag off. I think like $30, and it was in like new, it was in the box. Whatever I did with the box. I don't know. I had it here minutes ago. Anyway, I think that's it for this pedal though. I mean, I really can't tell you much else, other than to say it works fair at low levels, and you increase the amp volume up. It works pretty good as just a light, subtle distortion, and a little bit as a boost. And it works as a full-blown distortion. If you get too high, it starts to get that brittle, itchy, scratchy sound. There's a good example right there. In the treble position on the guitar, it's just as buzzy and wow. That's a Telecaster annoying, you know, in the full treble. See, I could use that. Yeah, I could use that. Anyway, that's all I have to really let you show and tell. It's a distortion. I don't do well with overdrives because they all seem well, they aren't all the same, but I'm kind of tired of them because there's so many of them out there, and some are really pretty good and some are not, and some are most of them to me are somewhere in that huge middle in between section. That's where they're kind of okay in some settings and not so great in others. But anyway, that's the Danelectro Daddy O, and I think if you find one used and you want to collect Danelectro pedals, I think it's not a bad option. I think it could be pretty good. So until next time, if you'd like, you can subscribe, give a thumbs up, give a thumbs down, leave a comment. Tell me about your overdrives. I know that should get some mentions as to what overdrives people use, because I don't think there's too many folks out here. I don't use this really. It's not my main overdrive at all. I use an Empress normally. But let me know what you think about your overdrive or other similar overdrives you've used. Talk to me about overdrives on the cheap. I always like that. I always like that idea. So until next time, we'll talk to you again later, and good night and good luck. And we'll play some jazzy distorted music.